What does a buyer's deposit mean? Do buyers lose their deposit if they back out of a contract? So typically in real estate transactions, there are two earnest money deposits that are put down. There's a first deposit and a second deposit. Typically, the first deposit ranges anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000. The second deposit is a more substantial amount, typically put down after inspections are completed, and that would be where the total deposits combined would be in the 5 to 10% range of the purchase price of the home. Hi, I'm Kimmy Rolph. So for an example, if you had a $500,000 house, it would be typical in the state of Pennsylvania to have a first and second deposit totaling of $25,000 or more. In a multiple offer situation, you might see that be more like 10%, which could be $50,000. This deposit money is put into an escrow account, and all brokers are to hold the escrow deposit money and are required to follow the escrow laws of the state. So the really big question here is, when do I have to give the deposit money back to the buyers? There are several ways that the deposit money must be returned to the buyers, and here are a few examples. If there is an inspection contingency and the buyers do not feel comfortable moving forward based on what they saw and found in the inspections, then they have the right to terminate the agreement. Now, if the buyer has a mortgage contingency and they were not able to obtain the mortgage, they would have a denial letter from the mortgage company. The buyer would be able to terminate the agreement. Or if the seller is not able to give clear title to the buyer could terminate the agreement. With any of these scenarios, the sellers would have to sign a release of deposits. And it's really important to know that if the sellers do not sign the release on the deposit, the money cannot be dispersed to the buyer for 180 days, or the number that they agreed upon during the agreement of sale. Now, it's important to note that on the seller side, you want that number to be 180 days, as high as possible, to protect yourself. Now, let's say you have a cash offer on your home and you have absolutely no contingencies. Does the buyer have the right to pull out and keep their deposit? Many times, the answer would be no. The buyers do not have the right to keep the deposit. The seller would keep their deposit, but the buyer needs to sign a release so the sellers can keep their deposit money. Unfortunately, this doesn't always happen, where the buyers agree to sign the release, and sometimes attorneys need to get involved. Sellers really need to be aware of this. Please feel free to reach out to me anytime with any questions. We specialize in Montgomery County, PA, Villanova 19085, Gladwin 19035, and Delaware County, PA, Wayne 19087. We are here to help. Kimmy Rolph sells the main line and local areas.